Hi there, this is the Wizard, and we are currently in the greatest era of the Pokemon TCG. Today I wanted to talk about randomness, and specifically the randomness that came from the Pokemon trading card game for the Game Boy. Here I've got the Retro Pokemon TCG website, jasonklasinski.com.pokemon.com. I will link this in the top comment. This has been an awesome resource for myself going back in time to learn more about the decks and things that I missed out on simply playing on the playground or with my friends at our house, because there was a lot more going on in the Pokemon TCG that I never realized. My card collection was very limited, didn't have a ton of money growing up, so I had to rely on gifts for birthdays and Christmas and things like that to obtain cards. And most of the time, my sister and I would be given theme decks, which was great for us to battle against each other, but not so much to be competitive with kids that were actually serious about this. So in his files here and in his on his website, he has a page dedicated to the best cards and decks in this Game Boy game. And I loved playing this when I was a kid. I never owned it for myself, but at daycare there was a kid who had this, and I did have a Game Boy and Pokemon Red version. So I would trade him Pokemon Red, and he would play that, and I would get the trading card game from him, and I would play this. And I cannot tell you the number of times that we would do that throughout that summer. It was a lot of fun. We would sit next to each other and show each other how we were doing and things like that. And I just remember that being a lot of fun. So if Christian, if you're out there, shout out to you, man. I remember that summer very fondly. So the legendary birds are the ones that I want to highlight here. And specifically Zapdos is one that was a cause of great turmoil for me while I was playing the Game Boy game. So his Pokemon power, when you put him down onto the field of play, you do 30 damage to a Pokemon other than Zapdos chosen at random. Now, the randomness component, if it's in a video game, can be possible because it's possible for the game to be fair, at least to give the illusion of being fair, to have this be done. But in the current real life Pokemon TCG, this is not, I don't want to say not possible, because I did figure out a way for this to be possible, but there is nothing in the rules about having anything done randomly. So what I have proposed is that the bench spots, as well as the active position, would correspond with the number on a six-sided dice. And six-sided dice are very commonly used for coin flips already, so many Pokemon TCG players already carry them around with their deck, as well as you can use them to track damage if you don't want to carry around coins or those little marble looking things that they gave us in the base set starter pack to track damage. So you simply put dice and the number would be multiplied by 10. So if you have a six-sided die with the 1 facing up, then this Zapdos has taken 10 damage. It's a very easy way to track that. Although in the Elite Trainer boxes, they give you dice that track these also. They've got the numbers 10, 20, 30, and then there's one that tracks 30, 60, 90, and then there's one that tracks 50, 150. So there's lots of ways that dice have been used, even by the Pokemon company, to do this. But I think it would be really cool for this to actually be a real card, and then this chosen at random thing could be, if you've got my side of the field and your side of the field, the first thing you do is you flip or roll a die for deciding whether the damage is going to be done to your side or the opponent's side, and then the number on the dice roll corresponds with the positioning on the field. So if you've got look at a Pokemon playmat here, one that has actual positions on it. So active spot is the number 1. Then here on the left is number 2, 3, all the way to 6. So then it could be possible for this Peal of Thunder to do damage to any Pokemon on the field chosen randomly. And a dice roll is about the best way to do this, because a real dice is not going to have any, it's not going to be loaded, it's not going to favor one number over another. And there is another wrinkle that we could throw into this. If it specifies that it has to do damage, or if you would say roll a dice, or roll 2 dice, or however many you want to say, and then it does damage to the result, but if no result is rolled, then it does nothing. So for example, if that's what this Peal of Thunder actually did, let's say that it was 2, let's say that there were 2 dice that you were supposed to roll. So you've got your defending Pokemon that would be included in the dice roll possibly, but then there's only a Pokemon on spot number 4. So you've got a Pokemon on spot number 1 in the active, and then spot number 4. You roll the 2 dice, and you roll a 3 and a 6. So the 3 would be here, but this spot is empty, so it does no damage. Same thing with number 6 over here, it does no damage. So this defending player has completely dodged an attack. Then let's say another time when that card gets played and you roll 2 1s. Well, now this defending Pokemon has been dealt 60 damage. So this would be a little bit nerve-wracking for a defending player, but it also would increase the level of tension and the amount of excitement that a battle could have. And I think that's one thing that has been sort of missing from competitive Pokemon, and that's true, I believe, all the way back to the beginning, because many players didn't play decks like this. And in the format that I'm kind of creating from scratch, I want exciting things to be possible, and not just as a niche, but as something that could be possibly viable and devastating. So I think that's all that I wanted to showcase about this idea today. So thanks for watching. If this is of interest to you, if you want to follow along with my journey making a custom Pokemon format, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment. I will answer any comments or questions that you guys have. There aren't too many people that watch my videos just yet, and even fewer who comment, so I will be able to respond to any of you who comment and have questions. So please do that. And if you know somebody that likes old Pokemon cards and wants to follow along with us, share this video with them as well. Appreciate it. So until next time, we'll see ya.